My dear students of 11th Science, in my previous physics class, we discussed there about the equilibriumity of a body with respect to the energy consideration of the body. Today we want to discuss about the collisions of objects. So therefore first we have to know what do you mean by collision. Collision is an isolated event in which two or more colliding objects create a strong force on each other for a short interval of time. So therefore, first we have to know the type of collisions. There are two types of collisions. Number one, elastic collisions, and number two, inelastic collisions. Before know about the elastic and inelastic collisions in details, we have to know a new factor known as coefficient of restitutions or coefficient of resilience. What do you mean by this? It is actually the ratio of relative velocity of separation, means the relative velocity of the two objects after collisions, to the relative velocity of approach, means the relative velocity between the two objects before collisions. That ratio is actually known as the coefficient of restitutions or coefficient of resilience. Mathematically, E equal V2 minus V1 by U1 minus U2, where U1 and U2 be the velocities of the two colliding objects before collision, and V2 and V1 be the velocities of the two colliding objects after collisions. Depending on the value of this E, we can say whether the collision is elastic collisions or inelastic collision. When E equal 1, the collision is perfectly elastic collisions. When E equal 0, the collision is perfectly inelastic collisions. And for any other type of collisions, the value of E lies between 0 to 1. 0 to 1 means lies between these two values, not exactly 0 and 1, because 0 for perfectly inelastic collisions, 1 for perfectly elastic collisions. Now student, today we want to discuss about elastic collision in one dimension. Therefore, first we have to know what do you mean by elastic collisions. During elastic collisions, you have to remember linear momentum is conserved, kinetic energy is conserved, total energy is conserved, and the force which is acting on the system is the conservative force. Now see, this is the diagram for showing the elastic collisions in one dimensions. Here we consider two objects of mass m1 and m2 moving with velocities u1 and u2 along the same straight line, where u1 is greater than u2. Now, as u1 is greater than u2, at certain instant of time, these two objects are collide with each other. So this is a situation during collisions, and after collisions the two objects m1 and m2 are moving with the velocities v1 and v2. So this type of consider over here, we consider elastic collisions in one dimensions. During the elastic collisions in one dimensions, we have to prove that the relative velocity of separation should be equal to the relative velocity of approach. You have to prove this. Now, according to conservation of linear momentum, we can write m1 v1 plus m2 v2, which is the linear momentum after collision, should be equal to the m1 u1 plus m2 u2, which is the linear momentum before collisions. If we move this m2 u2 to the left and m1 v1 to the right, the expression becomes m2 common from here and here, v2 minus u2, and from here and here m1 common, u1 minus v1. This is our equation number 1. As kinetic energy is conserved, from that principle we can write half m2 v2 square plus half m1 v1 square. This is a total kinetic energy after collision is equal half m2 u2 square plus half m1 u1 square. This is a total kinetic energy before collisions. from the both side half cancelled, and if we move this m2 u2 square to the left and m1 v1 square to the right, by taking the common m2 from here and here within the bracket, v2 square minus u2 square is equal, from here and here m1 common, u1 square minus v1 square, and this is our equation number 2. Now we have to divide this equation number 2 by this equation number 1. Okay, so now the expression becomes m2, and according to a square minus b square formula, this becomes v2 plus u2 into v2 minus u2 divided by m2 into v2 minus u2 is equal, from here m1 u1 plus v1 into u1 minus v1, and from here m1 into u1 minus v1. So this one cancelled, m1 cancelled, this one cancelled, m2 cancelled. So left hand side becomes v2 plus u2 and the right hand side becomes u1 plus v1. If we move this v1 to the left and u2 to the right, the expression becomes v2 minus v1 is equal u1 minus u2, and this is known as the relative velocity of separation, that is the relative velocity among the two objects after collision, and this is the relative velocity of approach, means the relative velocity among the two objects before collisions, and this is our equation number 3. Okay, this equation is very important, you have to remember. For one-dimensional elastic collisions, the relative velocity of separation should be equal to the relative velocity of approach. Now student, you have to know the expression for velocities of the two objects after collision, means the expression for v1 and the expression for v2. To know the expression for v1, from the equation number 3, we derive the value of v2 and put in the equation of conservation of linear momentum. We get v1 equal m1 minus m2 into u1 by m1 plus m2 plus twice m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. This is the expression for velocity of the object of mass m1 after the collisions. Okay, now to the value of v2, we have to put the value of v1 from here in equation number 3, and we get v2 equal twice m1 u1 by m1 plus m2 plus m2 minus m1 into u2 by m1 plus m2. This is the expression for velocity of the object of mass m2 after collisions. So now student, after knowing this, regarding this one-dimensional elastic collisions, you have to know certain cases. Number 1 case, whenever mass of the two objects are equal, then v1 becomes u2 and v2 becomes u1. So therefore from here we can say, whenever mass of the two objects are equal and they are collide elastically in one dimension, after collisions their velocities will interchange, means m1 moving with the velocities of m2 and m2 moving with the velocity of m1. Now another special case, whenever the targeted body m2, initially at rest, that is u2 equal 0, then the expression for v1 from here becomes m1 minus m2 u1 by m1 plus m2, because u2 is 0, and from here v2 equal twice m1 u1 by m1 plus m2, because u2 is 0. So under this situation we consider another 3 cases, means whenever the targeted body is at rest, in that situation we consider the mass of the two objects are equal. If the mass of the two objects are equal, then from here v1 equal 0 and from here v2 equal u1, means whenever targeted body initially at rest and whenever the two objects of same mass are collide elastically after collision, the first object of mass m1 comes to the rest position and the second object of mass m2 moving with the velocities of m1. Secondly, when mass of targeted body, that is m2, is very greater than the mass of the body that is the mass of the first body of m1, that is the mass of the first body, that is m1, means when m2 is very greater than m1. So now here we consider m1 is 0, so therefore from here v1 equal minus u1, and as m1 0, v2 is equal 0. So whenever the mass of targeted body is very high, then after collisions the first body of mass m1 return along the same straight line with the same velocity, but the targeted body remain at the rest position, Whenever mass of the first object, that is m1, is very greater than m2, then what happened? Then m2 is 0, means from here v1 equal u1 and v2 equal twice u1. So whenever mass of the first body is very high, then after collision the first body m1 moving with the same velocity, but the second body velocity becomes twice than the velocity of first body, So this is all the situations are very important. All of you read very carefully. Now student, regarding this chapter, one thing I forgot to say you that about the power. So what is power actually? Now power is the rate of doing work. From class 9 you know this. That is P equal dw by dt, and as dw is equal to f vector dot ds, so therefore P equal f vector dot ds by dt, and this ds by dt is called the velocity, that's why f vector dot b vector. So therefore power is a scalar quantity, as it is the dot product of force vector and velocity vector, and the SI unit is work done by time, means joule per second, which is actually known as watt and denoted by the letter capital W. Okay student, all of you read this portion very carefully. Today I provide you lots of numericals on these chapters. Thank you.